This inappropriately sexy gaming PC with its RTX 3080 AIO conversion kit in it and an 11900K with 32 gigs of RAM running at 3200 MHz is my personal gaming PC. And for today's video, I'm gonna take it and the entire associated gaming setup around it that I use and throw it in the trash. Well, not really, but I'm gonna throw it in the trash and replace it with a significantly worse gaming setup that at its center has this, an Acer Loser Nitro Suckface edition which I bought from Best Buy. It has a 1650 in it and everything. Now before we tear this all down and replace it with something a bit less shiny, let me quickly talk you through what I'm using here, starting with the keyboard, which is a drop enter if I'm not mistaken. This has the Gateron yellow switches and a keycap set, also from Drop. I really like it. It's a very nice keyboard and it does keyboard things well. And then I've got this this aftermarket cable that a viewer actually made for me, so thank you very much. Next up we've got the mouse, which is, I think it's called the Zephyr. It's that mouse with the fan in it, which is quite nice. I'm quite a cheesy gamer, so it's pretty cool having a mouse that cools your gross man hands for you. And then I use it on this David Does Tech Stuff mouse pad. Nice. Now when it comes to my headphones, I have this pair of Beyerdynamic DT770s, which sound really great. They block out background noise really well, and with these aftermarket huge pads, they're very comfy. My main problem with them though is that they've got this inline volume switch, which is really terrible because every time you accidentally touch it, it screws up the channel balance between left and right, and then it takes you a while of struggling to fix it again. And it's hardwired to the headphones, so you can't just replace it, which is really annoying. Now, in terms of my main display, I have this 27-inch 1440p high refresh rate IPS BenQ display, which I really like. The image quality is good, and it's very nice for gaming. The only thing is, this is the second one. The first one, the power supply actually caught on fire on stream, and I sent that back to BenQ for them to do some diagnostics on it, and they sent this one as a replacement. Now, I haven't heard back from them about it yet, although I did some research and it doesn't seem to be a common issue with these displays, so yeah, I should actually follow up with BenQ about that. Oh, and I also use an Amazon Basics VESA arm so that I can get the monitor into like eye height. That was the other issue with this monitor, is that it comes with a really terrible stand. Next up, we have the microphone is just a Rode pod mic on a Rode arm with a I think it's a 2i2 Gen 3, which is a Focusrite interface that works pretty well with this. I just use it to shout at people on the internet. Generally, I do really like my gaming setup and my awesome PC over there as well. So it is, it's pretty sad that I'm gonna have to give it up for a month. Now, the whole point of my month-long interstellar journey with the SS Loser Nitro Suckface is to see what it's like living with an OEM pre-built from a company that has a bit of an Elma possession problem. And I think it'll be interesting to compare it to a more baller gaming setup. Now, first things first, let me quickly talk you through the budget setup I'm going to be using for the month. Starting with the system itself, which I bought from Best Buy. At its core, it has a Ryzen 5 5600G in it, which is a pretty good CPU, paired with a single 8GB stick of RAM. Now, considering that there is a 78% chance that this RAM configuration will give me leprosy, I am gonna upgrade that with a single 16GB stick of random pre-built RAM I found lying around, which I'm gonna drop in, and the two sticks do actually run in dual channel. And finally, the system has some lame GDDR5 OEM version of the GTX 1650 in it, which should be interesting considering that I mainly play Escape from Tarkov. Now, in order to get an authentic budget gaming experience, I'm also going to swap out the rest of my setup. In terms of the keyboard, I'm using some Razer keyboard that I got from Walmart a while ago. Funnily enough, I also bought the mouse from Walmart, which is one of the higher end parts of this setup. It is a Logitech G502, which is a decent mouse. It's pretty good. Now, I also got the headset from Walmart. It was all for the same video. It's called the Razer Kraken X Lite, and it's a budget gaming headset. Now the part that I'm the most excited about is the monitor. I found a Samsung G3 24-inch 1080p high refresh rate monitor on sale for 220 Canadian dollars, and this is probably going to be the best part of this setup, so yeah, quite excited about that. Okay, well I guess it's time to say goodbye to all of this. Bye, buddy. And while unboxing my fancy new G3, I realized that I may not have needed to remove my VESA arm from the desk. Oh, it has a VESA mount on it. So I decided to remount it. Ugh, go in the hole! So just like that, I've Acer Nitro 50'd my gaming setup. So yeah, I guess I'm gonna do some gaming now. And just like that, my month-long interstellar journey with the SS Loser Nitro Suckface has begun. David's log, day 53 of our journey on the SS Loser Nitro. We have encountered a couple of technical difficulties that has led to a waning crew morale. The first problem is a weird blurring motion artifact on the Samsung G3 monitor that the crew has not been able to diagnose despite changing every monitor parameter. And this, combined with a very low fluctuating frame rate while exploring the Escape from Tarkov space, especially in any territory other than factory, has led to a disorienting gaming experience which has resulted in higher than usual crew casualties. Now we have tried to address this issue by replacing the Samsung G3 with an LG display, which cost about the same amount of money. This display does not have that motion blurring artifact, but the problem of the low powered engines leading to a low variable frame rate in the Tarkov space still remains. And then the second problem is that Razer Kraken X Lite gaming headset. The crew specifically hate that bastard. Because of its very poor directional audio capabilities, it further increases the danger of navigating the hostile Tarkov space. I am hoping that this setup's acceptable Dota gaming performance will be enough to carry the crew morale through this month-long journey. With that, David's signing out. David's log, day 86, and there's been a mutiny attempt. The crew are banging at my door as we speak because they've had enough. The crew are threatening to blow me out the airlock. Or worse yet, force me to watch the entire first season of How I Met Your Father featuring Hilary Duff. No worse fate lies in the future of any man. In a last-ditch attempt, I have contacted HQ asking them for an upgrade to the engines because maybe that'll quell the rage of the crew. I don't know, hopefully it's enough. Hopefully it gets here in time, but oh no, I think they've made it. I think they've made it through the doors! David's log, day 107. Crew morale has improved significantly since we've upgraded from the GTX 1650 engine module to the GTX 1660 Super engine module. We can now, while using low settings, traverse even the more hostile areas of Tarkov space, including Lighthouse. The instruments do still struggle in these areas, but it's just so much improved. Generally, the vibe on the ship's way better than it was before. We are getting very close to the end of our travels with the SS Loser Nitro Suckface. The crew is tired and they are ready for the end of this journey. And with that, David's log signing out. Now, before we get into the most important question of this whole video, which was the Nitro Elma prevalence over my month with this pre-built system, I do want to quickly mention the couple of parts of the setup that I missed the most from the high-end gaming setup. Number one is very easy. It is the headphones. I really dislike that Razer headset, because it's very uncomfortable and it doesn't breathe well, so you get really sweaty with it very quickly, and the sound quality is not great at all, and it doesn't block sound very well despite being closed backs. So yeah, I miss my DT770s a lot. Next up from that would probably be the monitor, to be honest. The 24-inch 1080p monitor was great, but having lived with a 1440p high refresh rate monitor being driven well at 27-inch, it's really hard to go back, I'm not gonna lie. And what did I miss the least from the high-end gaming setup? Definitely the keyboard, with an asterisk though. I think that if I got a budget 10 keyless keyboard, I would have been perfectly happy with it, because a full-sized keyboard is just not that ergonomic to game with, because you sit like this the whole time, and I don't like that at all. But now we get to the most important part of this video. Basically, the entire reason why I spent my month with this loser Nitro Suckface setup. And that is how prevalent and difficult to deal with was the Elma possession. Now, to test the full extent of the Elma possession of the system, I didn't reinstall Windows on it, so it had the stock Windows 11 install on it, and for most of the time, I didn't even uninstall Norton, the antivirus, on it, which I really wanted to give Elma a chance to just show up in the system. And after a month of using this PC, I had a grand total of not a single software issue with it. I couldn't believe it, but it ran perfectly fine. The biggest issue I had with it was that the 1650 couldn't handle the game that I wanted to play. That was the main problem I had the whole time. Yeah, there was the occasional like ad popping up in Windows which annoyed me a bit, and like Norton would show up every now and then, but then I just deleted it and it was fine. Yeah, I was like, it's actually kind of embarrassing because I went into this going like, oh, this is gonna be the worst thing ever. It's gonna crash the whole time, and I'm gonna hate it so much. But it was perfectly fine. Honestly, once I upgraded to the 1650, I would just get home and play video games on it like it was a gaming setup. However, I will say, if all I played was Dota, I would have been happy with the 1650 in that system and all of the peripherals and the setup and everything. Even the G3 would have been okay. Granted, that's not saying much because Dota will run well on an epilator, but yeah, that was perfectly fine. Don't get me wrong, the higher end setup, I'm very excited to get back to it, but it's fine, it's just a PC. It worked perfectly fine, there was just no problems with it. So, because of that, I actually think that this Acer Nitro 50 has regained just a little bit of honor, which means I will now no longer refer to it as the Acer Loser Nitro Suckface Edition anymore, just the Suckface. Because it was still kind of terrible. And on that just mind-blowing note, I think it's time to end this video. So if you enjoyed the video, please do like and subscribe to the channel for more videos like this one. And until the next video, bye-bye.